All right there, Vinyl community. It's Christmas Eve. It's Steve here reporting with some more of his latest finds. It was a bit quiet this week. I was busier than what I'd expected or hoped. So there's nothing special about this Christmas. I've got Christmas records, just haven't been able to sort them out to show you. So this again is more some recent finds I found at local record store and charity shop finds. Um, Pete, who owns the record store in the market, has been turning me on to a bit of Santana, and I found a couple of Santana LPs. First up is Welcome, which is just about makeouts on the sleeve there. It's Welcome. I think this album came out. Looking at it, I couldn't tell you actually. It's actually very with the writing script on the actual record itself very hard to make out. Good album. Got the gatefold there. Got the band at that time. So yeah, I was quite stoked to pick up that copy. I'm slowly getting on to Santana, so it's worth checking some more out. And also found a copy of the 1981 Zebop album. Again, different lineup change. I think there was I think the vocalists had changed. It went through quite a few vocalists and lineups at that point. Produced by David Deep, Carlos Santana, and Bill Graham, of all people. So, yeah, not a bad album for that. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold coming on. Next album up. Now, this again, Pete recommended to me. Shannon R, Hot Socks. This came out in 74. Around 74 period, just before Vinnie Taylor, I think the guitarist, overdosed. This, I was aware of them, and as Pete pointed out, they played Woodstock, and they are basically a 50s pastiche band, doo-wop rock and roll band. Sort of went against the grain of what was going on at the time in America. There was like quick songs. Visuals of the 50s throwback, and so I was pleased to have this. I'm glad I got this. I don't know whether I'd check out more, but I did go on YouTube just to see what they look like, and I mean, it's still going now. With obviously new members. I don't know if there's any original members left, but yeah, I thought that to be an enjoyable record. Now, record picked up here. Feargal Sharkey, ex-lead singer of the Undertones. When they split up, he went with Vince Clarke to form the Assembly, and they had a big hit called Never Never. Then that split up, and he went on his own. You know, hit single with Loving You in '84. Then 1985, it sort of all come together. This is his self-titled album. Contains Good Heart, which was a #1 single in 1985, which was written by Maria McKee. And then the second track, the follow-up single, was called You Little Thief. It was written by Belmont Tench, Tom Petty. And it so happened that I think this I believe, if I remember rightly, this song was about Maria McKee. They had a bit of a fling and it didn't work out well. That was probably an interesting recording session. Not a bad album. Feargal Sharkey's now, he, despite the Undertones getting back together, he refuses to have anything to do with it, but he's a bit of like a live music czar for the government now. We went for a period of that, so he's a bit more in the industry side of things. A good voice for Feargal Sharkey. So I was quite pleased to have that. Now, as I mentioned, Shannon R was a sort of pastiche of 1950s rock and roll, and we had a few of those bands in the UK. I've mentioned Mud in previous videos. That Les Gray, their single Les Gray, heavily on these Elvis impersonations. Another band of that ilk, the 70s, was Showaddywaddy. Now, from Leicester, they first came to attention. There was a talent show on TV in the 70s called New Faces, and I think they come second in the grand final. They got signed up to Bell Records. This is the debut album, and it, as I say, it features their hit singles "Hey Rock and Roll Lady." Album is nothing unspectacular. The singles are the best things. A lot of rock and roll covers. Second album is Step 2, and that's a reference to the big hit single off the album, their cover of Eddie Cochran's 3 Steps to Heaven. Again, it's a lot of rock and roll covers. Showaddywaddy were, in the late part of the 70s, very popular. They had a couple of #1 singles, particularly Under the Moon of Love was a very popular single for them. After a while, Bell Records sort of closed down a bit, so they moved on to Arista Records. This album, Red Star, which is a homage to the rail freight company, I think, hence why it's wrapped in a package. Quite a lot of packages were delivered to the depots by rail, and Red Star was the name of the company that did all that. On here, you've got What It Takes, the big single on here, and Dancing Party. But again, a lot of covers. It was a very fluid band. They're still going today, actually. Dave Barker, the singer's now the manager. Very different members. A lot of members retired, as they do at that point. So, they were a fun band. The 70s were fun time for me. So, I'm pretty pleased that I picked that up. There's 3 albums up. Not something I probably would go out my way to seek, but they were there, and I thought, best have them. A couple of singles by Slade. Unfortunately, it's not Merry Christmas Everybody, but I've got here Mama We're All Crazy Now, a #1 single from 1972. And then probably the well-known song, particularly in America because of the Quiet Riot cover, Come On, Feel the Noise, which was another #1 single in 1973. Both records, I believe, went straight to #1, which was unusual at that time. Nowadays, you release a single, it goes straight into #1, I think. But then it was quite unusual. What can I say about Slade? One of the great bands of all time. Obviously, we're hearing Merry Christmas Everybody, ubiquitous Merry Christmas Everybody, which I think sums up Christmas for a lot of people. If you don't really know, it was recorded in June in New York in 1973. But when it came out, there was a lot of good records that were released, Christmas records released that year. We had Step Into Christmas by Elton John and Wizards, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. Excuse me. In the background of the hit in the UK at the time, there were minor strikes and the country was going down the tube. I think the reason that song's so popular is because it's, for want of a better word, it lightened the UK at the time when it was pretty dark. And I think that's its endearing quality. It's about having a good time. Forgetting about what's going on outside. For one day, let's just enjoy life for what it is. Record I found in the pound bin. It's not in the best conditions, but I'll take it all the same. It's Smith's Strange Ways, Here We Come. Their final album. it all combusted afterwards. Girlfriend in the Coma, big single on there. But you've got Last Night I Was Doing Somebody Love Me. Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This One Before. Yeah, it's a good album. It's not the best album by a long chalk. In all honesty, it might be the worst album of the Smiths put out. But Smith's worst album, a lot better. It's better than quite a lot of product that came out at that time. Another 80s album, Soft Cell, non-stop erotic cabaret. The singles you got on there, you've got Tainted Love, Bedsitter, and Say Hello, Wave Goodbye. This oozes sleaze. You got it from the back cover there. Yeah, this is about Soho in the 80s, bars, the cinemas, the strip shows. This just oozes that. Say Hello, Wave Goodbye was the standout track, and I think in '82, I really remember this. When it was released as a single, everyone said number one. It didn't, and I think this sort of started to bring back the downfall. I think they didn't. I think Mark Holm particularly. I got the impression was a bit crushed by this, and so after another album, they sort of self-imploded. I've just been listening to Mark Holman box set on Spotify. About 6 hours worth of music, and such diverse music. Another album got for £1, Ringo Starr's Ringo album, produced by Richard Perry. Come out in 1983. We've got here. I'm not going to get it out. It's quite tight fitting here. You've got Photograph and You're 16, the two singles on here. Every one of the Beatles contributed. I think when the split happened, I think everybody rallied while they were sniping at each other. Everybody rallied around Ringo, and then I've got another Ringo single, "It Don't Come Easy." Again, not in the greatest condition, but I'm pleased to have picked that up just the same. My final two selections, Status Quo. First one is what's called the File series. This is when they're known as the Status Quo, and it's basically their stuff on the Pi label. Pictures of Matchstick Men, Ice in the Sun, all their recordings from there. There's a version of Spicks and Specks, the Bee Gees song, and then up to or down Dust Pipe. It's just as they start to change the sound. In fact, the album finishes with we quite. You could see the direction they were going in with that. And not a bad album, but double album. I was quite pleased with that. And then to get this for £1 and in good working playing order, this is Status Quo. This is Quo Live, recorded in Glasgow, 76 or 77. This is Quo at their peak. Live, the Frantic Four. You've got Junior's Wailing, Backwater, 4,500 Times, and what else you got on here? Caroline, Bye Bye Johnny, and last track on here is their cover of Roadhouse Blues by the Doors, which to be honest, gave them their sound moving forward. Great album just the same, and I think sadly now Rick Parfitt's now left the band. I mean, that's the end for Quo. I think I don't see Francis Rossi touring on his own. In fact, I think pretty sure they said this was the last tour, the Christmas tour. So that ends that selection. All it leaves me to say is, apart from the usual, click like, click subscribe if you want to subscribe. Now I've got 34 subscribers, so slowly getting there. But I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. I hope it's a peaceful day for you. And I probably will put a couple more videos out during the period between now and New Year. But have a good one, Vinyl Community, and just be good to one another. Thank you.